the
Okay, so then bring back your data, or just actually from here, go to data at the top and split file. So right now you have all cases.
right.
So if you want to get this descriptive statistics, then you analyze by we were doing school letter grade recode, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
So what
bring
I
that
did
over.
want to know is, do I need to, because I did not have the performance score and the assessment score in before, do I need to also code by growth or just do the school letter grade?
Depends on what you proposed. I think you proposed looking at the differences between school letter grade.
Well, the question talks about high performing versus low performing, and a part of the performance to be deemed a low performing school, technically it's your letter grade along with whether you um, exceeded growth or if you just met or did not meet growth. So it's the combination technically.
Can you bring up the research question? Because
Yes.
that's what we always look at and make sure it's all aligned. So this looks like you went with letter grades.
So it says high performing and low performing.
But then in the processes, you talked about the histogram pie chart to look at the letter grades.
Yes, in the statistical process here. So that's where my question was. I didn't know what I'm able to edit and modify based on what has already been approved, if that makes sense. Like in my definitions, like I give the definition of low performing and describe the fact that the low performing is the letter grade in the growth status.
Okay. So in this question, now you're saying that high achieving, what is the definition of high achieving?
So there is not a formal definition, but I just paired it with being the opposite of the low achieving. So a high achieving school would have a letter grade rating of A or B and have exceeded growth. Whereas a low achieving school has a D or F rating and has not exceeded growth. Because even when you've met growth, you're still considered a low performing school.
So based upon something, you suspect that there's going to be differences in the North Carolina teaching, the working conditions of these two groups.
Yes, that's my hypothesis.
Okay, so we have already recoded into letter grades.
Yes.
We have not actually recoded groups into letter grade and exceeded, because that's going to be your ultimate group one versus group two. So then you're just doing a t-test if there are literally just two groups based upon that definition, high achieving versus low achieving,
Okay.
right? Am I following?
No, so you're correct. And so that's how we ended up before the first time with the A and the B as one when we recoded. C's were two because they didn't fall in with either one, and then threes were the D's and F's.
Okay, let's get this finalized for you. Let's see. I'm looking on my side at the data that you sent. So it's exceeded, high achieving, A or B and exceeded.
Correct.
I think uh is it, let me see, school growth exceeded. I'm sorting and then it's a one or two. So you can have, that's interesting. So what happens if you're a letter grade of D, but you exceed growth? What are you if
So
you're a C
technically,
and
you would,
exceeded?
And so technically, you're low performing based on the proficiency of a D, even though you exceeded growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's supposed to be the combination of the two is what would eliminate you from being low performing rather than one of the two.
Yeah.
Because the
You're
way
just
North
not,
Carolina has the value system rated, the letter grade value is greater than the growth.
you're only going to have 20, 20. Let me share this with you. You're only going to have 20 n size of 20 with that analysis. So I have exceeded, right? And they A or B.
Correct.
Okay. And then the other group is low performing. D or F and not exceeded.
Correct. So then that's where the outlier group still existed for the ones that were C's.
D or F. There aren't so many Fs. So D and not exceeded. So this is group 2. You're only going to have how many? 7 students in that group. I mean, 7 schools for that analysis. Um,
Because the bulk of the schools fall in the outlying range.
let's see. So the calculator was for research question 1 based upon the correlation, but not the analysis for question 2. Are there more schools that you can add, or are we maxed out?
I don't think that we're maxed out because we let me pull up the original file. We did the random selection within those schools, within the samples. But I don't know if I would be able to get for those specific things of high performing and low performing if I could get 193. Like I don't think it's enough schools left to do that, if that makes sense. Because the bulk still fall within like the C range.
Yeah, because okay, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. It's going to be a limitation. We're going to move forward, I think, and call this a limitation.
Okay.
Um, we'll keep it in, but it's a severe limitation, and that's fine. Someone else can look at that, and we can pretty much only do um, descriptives. Let me see this. Watch what happens. The grouping variable was this one. We're saying there's going to be a difference, right? In the teacher working
Well, hold on.
conditions.
Did we also do for 3 right now? Do we have met and not met for low performing?
We have for low performing, it's not met.
So met and not met equal
Okay.
low performing.
Low performing, not exceeded growth,
So it can be
met.
a D or F and met or not met. It just can't be exceeded.
Okay, let me see. So that would gives a couple more. Can't be exceeded. So I got I got my threes here, right? All of them. Yeah, we didn't have so many
It's not a lot that were
D's
met.
and F's anyway. What do we
Okay.
do with the C schools? I mean, they're just in nowhere, aren't they? It's a shame.
And so I think, unfortunately, on one end, what ends up happening as a school, if you're on the low performing side, you aim to get to the C because at least it takes you off the low performing list. But technically, you're still not considered a high performing school, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You may get a lot of celebration off of the growth and the letter grade being moved up. So, like the school that I just left this year, we were able to move from a D to a C based on last year's data.
I see. Oh, it's all skewed. Okay, so look, we're gonna do this now. Analyze. See what it lets us do. Where's my compare? High, low is a grouping. 1, 2. And this is 2018. We have 20 in one group, 10 in the other. I should have labeled it. So the ones were the high performers. But it's pretty dramatic, really. The means are quite dramatic, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are. You're gonna re it did work because it's so incredibly dramatic. Your limitation being the sample size, but you do have statistical significance. It's so incredibly dramatic.
Which I guess honestly lends itself to what the future studies could be and going into the other part of why policy and legislation matter when it comes to what happens with the school performance grades and what those expectations are for the schools.
That, and that's the hard part is it's easy to run these statistics, but how do you spin it to your reader why these are important? So, of course, there's a difference. And then it's like, yes, the low performing schools have worse working conditions. Which one's first? The working conditions or the student performance? Like, how are they interacting? So that's where all the research that you included in the lit review was hopefully relevant to bring it back into the discussion.
That makes sense.
So let me see now. We had that was 2018 and since I'm doing this now, I'm just going to send it to you. Uh what did we just do? We did school letter grade recode. So it was ones, no, ones were, wait a minute. How'd we get a C for a one? Weren't C's twos?
It should have been.
Ah, is this one correct? C's are twos. Okay,
So
glad I
maybe I
found
just need
that.
to sort all together. That might have been
Oh,
how, as I'm typing, trying to fix other stuff, making errors, maybe.
two, two. Threes. Okay, our recode. So we have um,
So I do see for NC 27, one instead of a two.
one and exceeded, right? It's one and exceeded. A or B and exceeded. So that's still one. Exceeded.
And then NC 32.
And a two. No, a three. That's not a three.
So those are the two. There were two C's that were marked as ones and not twos,
Three and met or let me go back here. Three.
or not met.
And those are my twos. Are you fixing it on your end? Should I just send this to you when I'm done?
If you can send it anyway, but I did go and fix those two.
Okay. It's a 3 and not met. There's a lot of them here, aren't there? Am I doing this right? Why is there so many more? 3. 2022 was not good, was it?
It
All right.
varies.
I think so.
But
Then
if
if
you
we
look
run,
across to the other end, you saw where some schools did have the proficiency, but they weren't meeting growth in 2018 either.
high or low 2022. Okay, so analyze, test. You are out. You are out. And now up to 22. Recode. No, high or low is my grouping variable. What's a 1 or a 2? And it's this one right here. All right, t-test 2022, 31 versus 52. Does that mean we had less C schools, or I don't know? It's quite a difference. And
Well, there were a lot of the D schools that looked like they were C schools in 2018. So yeah, that makes sense.
one-sided. All right. What's your cutoff? Is it 0.01 or 0.05?
You told me to research to find something that aligned, which I have seen both. So I hadn't made a final. 0.01 is what I've seen has been the most common.
Okay. So this one, hmm, yeah, it's interesting. Look at that. But why is the standard deviation so high? This or less with this group? 75 versus 66. Okay, so now I'm going to also just shove in these while we're here, the descriptives. What do we need the descriptives on now? So we need, what was I making you do before? The descriptives for
The mean
school
and
letter
standard
grades?
deviation for yes.
Uh, I'm thinking I don't need that anymore because this makes sense now. Because we have only 2 groups. In the one group, there are 31. We have the mean, standard deviation. We probably need the minimum and maximum. Okay.
And that's just checking the box in the options, right?
Descriptives. Was it? I probably missed it. You've been in this more than me.
I think when you go to options, it allows you to add that. If you see at the
Uh,
top right,
oh, thanks. No,
maybe that's just the ANOVA then.
no. Okay, that's fine. Descriptives. So we need, yeah, this. this and this. And here's where we have to split the file to get it by met and not met.
Okay.
Means so here we have, yeah, minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation.
Okay.
So we're just getting the minimum, maximum added here. And then do our 2022s. Okay. We did it, didn't we? Did high, low.
At least you know specifically what to.
This one, we don't need the ANOVA anymore.
Okay.
We did the T, high, low. I should have labeled it. Dang it. I'm so not detail oriented. Um, high, low,
Well, in there, I think it'll say so.
cancel. No, high, low.
You did the hardest part to help me. I can relabel.
One was high. No, it was called high. Yeah,
Yes, high
high.
performing. And 2 was low.
Two was low. Don't need decimals. Copy. Paste. No decimals. Okay. Save as. Dun, 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 dun. Today's the 5th, right?
It is.
Do you want the outputs too?
Please.
Okay.
I'm still going to try to go back and see if I can do it myself.
Yeah. You might have to, do you have to run anything else with those errors that we found?
No, I think that resolves what the issue is now, because it only came for question 3. For question 2, I needed the standard deviation, the mean, and I needed to do the scatter plots.
So tell me again why you're doing the scatter plots.
So
Do you have a way to write about
honestly,
those?
it was just looking at the pattern for the correlation.
Uh-huh. And
So I was going to talk about whether it's a positive trend, a negative trend, and then kind of looking to see where the dots are. Are they clustered in a certain area or not? And how does that play into the school performance as far as, is it a high performing school, low performing school as far as the letter grade, along with then looking at the teacher work conditions. Do I actually see where the teacher work conditions were high and the school letter grade was high? Or is it the inverse? Or is it kind of like plateaued? Is neither,
yeah,
if it's so many C schools?
I just question the sometimes a graphic like that is very overwhelming and
Okay.
for the reader. And so if you need to have like a very big narrative to explain it and why you're including it, because the same information is technically in the main thing
In
to
the
report
chart.
are the correlations.
Okay.
And then whether they're, yeah, positive or negative. And so I just want you to know I'm not the biggest fan of them. So if they
I
become
got you.
overwhelming when
So
you start to write about them,
It
Like,
literally was just talking about the patterns of the correlation. So what's the strength
because
in the
I noticed you had
direction?
a lot of them, and then you had then bar charts too, and just if you include those, make sure you're explaining to the reader the significance of adding that particular
So the bar
graphic.
charts I don't need anymore. Initially, that was going to be based on question three. Before you were saying you didn't see it enough to go with it. But now with us redoing a few things since that conversation, it sounds like I don't need it.
Yeah, I'm not sure you need it. Um, so let's see. You have Q1, you got the correlations, and Q2 was correlations also, and now you have
Yes,
Q3.
so the just the difference of which question in the teacher work condition. So the first question with 7.1D and 7.1C with the teacher perception of school leadership is that one. And then the second question is dealing with the school climate.
Okay. One sec. Where did I'm bringing this back up. So how much more time do you have?
I'm good. I still
Okay,
have 8 minutes until we start
8 minutes.
lunch.
Okay, let me see what's my next. Okay, 2 o'clock. Um, Let me just make sure we're all on the same page here with this.
So I
While
did
you
put for question three, at least when we ended the proposal, that I would do a histogram, the pie chart,
analyze.
and the table.
Did
So I
you
know
did a
that,
bivariate, right?
yes.
Tell me
Well,
what
no,
to put
I
in here.
don't have bivariant in here for three. Bivariant's
No,
there for question one
for
and two.
question one.
Yes.
So how do you do question one? So it's um
So for
this
both years, comparing the school leadership question to the school performance.
school performance and which the performance score. Where are you?
And so
Where's
technically the only one to the point that you just made that needs the school assessment score with it is question three.
Okay, where's my, am I missing it? I'm looking for the, oh, there it is. It's already there. Okay, school performance score, assessment score, and now the working conditions, right?
Yes.
So that one
Yes.
and that one.
Yes.
Okay, okay. You did that one. And then let's see what we got here. Performance score with, why is it negative again? What's going on? What did I miss? Something going on with the data. It should be 0.2. Those are gone.
But those are where it was missing. So there were schools that if you did not have at least, I can't remember the percent, let's say 50% of the teachers respond and you didn't get a percentage.
Okay, let's run 2018. Oh, that's what I just did.
So I think it's one like that for 22, but the bulk was 2018.
Mean standard deviation. Mean standard deviation, 109. What happened to the correlation? Why aren't these correlated? 2018. Why is it different than it was the other day? Does this look like what you got?
Let me look. So for 2018, I don't see anything negative.
Oh, I know what happened. Look at me. I'm an idiot. Look, this is where you got to look at your outputs. What's going on? I knew something was going on. It's splitting the file still.
Oh, well,
Ah, that makes sense. Okay, analyze. Data. All cases. I knew it was wonky. Delete that one. There you go. There it was. 0.22, 0.36. Okay. Analyze, correlate, bivalent. You go.
Even watching
And
you copy and drag over there, I didn't know that you could do that. I've been clicking on them one at a time and
okay.
hitting the arrow.
You can click or drag either one. So now it's oops, there. Assessment score, you and you, right?
Yes.
Okay. 0.19, 0.40. All right, cool. I'm going to send this all to you then.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I get to a certain point, and I guess it's me getting stronger with figuring out, like you were like, I look at it and something's wrong. I'm not at a space where I know yet when I see it that it's wrong what to do.
Yes. But now you have the hard part, which is actually writing about these results and putting them in fancy APA tables. So each result has to, have the narrative before it. And then chapter 5, of course, yeah, what does this all mean? Why should we care? So you got quite a story to write.
It's definitely interesting from my perspective when I started versus now in my role of it now as well.
You're so close. All right, I'll send this to you and I'll see you on email. Let me know if you need any help.
Okay. So
And
my
I'll,
goal is
do
to
you need
work
the
on this some
recording
more
too?
tonight.
Do you need the
Please.
recording? Okay. I'll try to get that posted. It might not be till tomorrow.
No
Okay, so
problem.
post recording. We'll see. All right, glad we got all figured out.
Thank you.